Some say that freedom is forged, not given. I don't know. I think there's some value there. I think there's some valuable insight.
I would agree.
It's not just something that you're going to get. You have to work towards it. I know one of the Marine Corps' big things, one of the ad campaigns was steel forges steel.
Forged in steel, yeah.
There's a lot of parallels with metalwork, apparently, in American and Marine Corps. In our legacy.
Go figure.
Yeah, you gotta take something that's, a valuable material, and then you heat it and melt it and make it malleable, and then you can then turn it into something. And I think one of the things we do oftentimes, especially for those who are outside of the service now, is we find that the self-motivation to do that starts to wane, especially as I'm staring at 50 now. It's not so easy for steel to forge steel.
Yeah, no, I'm way beyond 50.
Well, here's an idea then. Here's one way, especially when...
How can I motivate myself, Vic? What do you think?
I think one of the things we can look at is as we're trying to heat things up, especially, we're coming out of this crazy bomb cyclone thing here. We've got to heat things up a little bit. We've got to become malleable. We got to start turning ourselves into something. We're already valuable. We just need to shape it and make us worth something. And one way you can do that is you can take on the Forged in Freedom 250 challenge offered by the Marine Corps Association Foundation. And to do that, you can complete 250 miles.
Oh, yeah? How do you do the 250? Do you have to run? Because I don't like to run.
Well, you don't have to run. There's a myriad of ways. You could run if you're, that's freaking badass. Or if you're like Sergeant Major Justin LaHue, you could walk it.
Yeah.
You could bike it.
Yeah.
You could swim it. You can row it. As long as you're doing something that is physically exerting and that takes you a distance. So, you can, I would love to be able to bench 250 pounds. That would be awesome. It's not a qualifier for this. I should still do that.
Okay.
But if you want to participate, you better run, walk, bike, swim, row, in any of those combinations or one of them individually between March 3rd and July 4th.
Okay, so how do I register for this?
Okay, very great question. So if you go to mca-marines.org/MCA events, that's EVENTS, MCA events, /category, /foundation -events.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a mouthful. But you could also just text America's 250 to 41444.
Awesome.
That's America's 250 to 41444.
That is very cool. And how am I going to prove to people that I did this? If I do this, that's a big if. I don't know if I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. How do I prove it?
Well, give it a shot, and not only will you be forging your own steel, but you'll be able to get a keepsake of that forged steel in an exclusive commemorative coin.
Love a coin. Yeah. I love a coin. Okay.
So once you register, I think it gives you all of the sort of accountability. I mean, quite honest, I think it's an honor system. But, don't shortchange yourself. This is about, obviously the coin is amazing. But, it's about, again, steel forging steel. It's about about not just taking on something, but appreciating it and working towards it. Remember, freedom is forged, not given.
Okay. And it's
just like this coin is not given. It's got to be earned.
Okay, and it's called the Forged in Freedom 250 Challenge,
right?
That's
right.
Okay.
In honor of America's, 250th birthday.
I love it. Sounds good.
Awesome. See you on the road. Hey, Scuttlebutt listeners. Welcome to episode 239. This week, we're talking Modern Day Marine 2026. So we brought the MCA's Director of National Military Association Engagement and Expositions, Marta Sullivan, and the Director of Strategy Plans and Assessment at Headquarters Marine Corps Comm Directorate, Lieutenant Colonel Nick Manweiler, to the Scuttlebutt to talk to us about what's in store for the premier military exposition. From the key leadership engagements and TED Talk style presentations to the Commandant's Cup Wargaming Tournament at Objective 1, there's something for everyone. And, of course, there's all the cool stuff. Vendors, large and small, will be presenting their innovations to support force design and Marine Corps' modernization efforts. If that weren't enough to get you hyped, we'll be there recording live from the showroom floor. Come check us out and say hi. This is episode 239. Hey, Scuttlebutt listeners, thank you for joining us and your continued support. I'm Vic. I'm here with Nancy.
Hey, everyone.
And I'm really excited. We are just days away, a week and a half away from Modern Day Marine. And so really wanted to bring in Marta Sullivan and Lieutenant Colonel Nick Manweiler to the show to talk to us about Modern Day Marine 2026. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, this is cool. So this will be Scuttlebutt's third Modern Day Marine being live. Well, we will be live on the showroom floor. You guys will be listening to it sort of, a little bit off.
Recorded live.
Recorded live. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
From the showroom floor, though, all of the great atmosphere and folks walking by, and we'll just try to capture as much of that as we can. And just in our short time now, we've seen a really distinct evolution, not just in the way it's presented, who's coming, but the way that it's being communicated and sort of how the Marine Corps has really wanted to dial in on this sort of nexus of past, present, and future Marine Corps stuff. And so, sir, it's so great that you're here to help talk to us. And then Marta, obviously this is your wheelhouse. And so let's talk about, so what are we looking at? What are some of the differences between Modern Day Marine 2025 and what we're coming up here on 2026?
Well, first of all, we have Lieutenant Colonel Manweiler back as the lead planner for the Marine Corps, or lead partner in the Marine Corps. And he's basically, running all of the strategic communication and is excited about getting his message out. So the biggest change right now is that we have Nick on Scuttlebutt.
Ira.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it.
No, we're really excited about Modern Day Marine 2026, only days away. And really, we just continue to grow, and in all facets, and in capacity. I mean, like you said, this is the third year now Scuttlebutt's going to be on, and I'm looking at your schedule right now. It's amazing. Like, we have deputy commandants, the sergeant major of the Marine Corps. We've got veteran voices. We've got stories being told, technology being talked about. And that's on Scuttlebutt. And then we have 4 additional stages with just jam-packed with incredible briefs from start to finish of the expo. And then we have dozens of, I don't know if dozens is right.
We call it
hyperbole.
dozens. Is like a baker's dozen.
Yeah, hyperbole, never heard a story. No, we have many additional symposia, concurrent with Modern Day Marine. So we have the UAS Symposium, the Safety OAG. We have LogCom AI Symposium and Hackathon. So pumped about the hackathon. Like, this is going to be cool. It's so exciting to have them, along with, tried and true favorites, right? So we have the Congressional Breakfast on Wednesday, which is going to be fantastic. We have members of Congress coming to listen to senior leaders in the Marine Corps talk about what's going on. And then we have returning again is our Spouse Summit, our Military Spouse Summit. So all of the tried and true favorites of Modern Day Marine, plus we just keep on packing in the professional military education, thanks to the Marine Corps and thanks to Nick Manweiler. Nick?
Yeah, that's your cue.
Yeah, right. Modern Day Marine has come such a long way. It's been going for decades now, but really starting in, I think it was 2019, General Berger really kind of changed the vibe and said, hey, look, I want to make this more of a messaging type event. And so it was still taking place in Quantico at the time, and I hear so many different people tell me or share memories with me about their time with the show in Quantico. Let's go down and get dusty with the Marines in the field, and we'll go look at some things. That was all well and good and absolutely critical building years for the show. But we moved it up to Walter E. Washington, the Washington, D.C. Convention Center. And that really is when it started to hit its stride. So if what you're picturing is car show and gun show in the field in Quantico in the grass, that's really an outdated view of the show. And now it is so much more. And you can see that from the fact that every general officer in the Marine Corps came together, for the General Officer Symposium, the General Offsite, and had General Shiroti and I come out and talk to them about the plan for this year's show. And every single one of them was nodding up and down like there is sincere service level buy-in. The show has evolved and really grown into the point that it is our premier annual engagement. There's no other single event that produces more news coverage for the Marine Corps on purpose, and like that's great. I mean, that is the opportunity for us to get out there and advance the commandant's priorities, provide supporting fires for the Secretary of the Navy, but really, like, the most important thing is just educating our own Marines internally on what the Marine Corps is doing. It's a big, busy Marine Corps, and it's very easy to kind of lose the forest for the trees. So being able to kind of come together in 1 week, zoom out, but also choose your own adventure and really dive down into all of the programming that Modern Day Marine offers. Every single person can find something of value and can kind of like choose their own adventure throughout the week, and really come away enriched professionally, personally, feel connected with Marines. It's almost like Marine Corps homecoming. That's really what I would like to build it to. And you can see that from these ancillary events that we host there. It is truly meant to be, hey, come back to Modern Day Marine each year, and you get to see buddies that you've served with over the years. You get to learn new stuff. It's really great.
100%. One of the things that I've definitely taken away from the evolution, and where I think Modern Day Marine really sets itself apart from the other military cons, is, like you said, that aspect of the education piece of it. I mean, you look at like wargaming and Objective 1, all of the various stages. I mean, we've got EWS students giving presentations, sometimes game-changing presentations. I'll reference not by name or by program, but I mean, there was an Army captain who really shook some pillars. And I'm sure in Alaska he's doing very well. But and it is that thing, and there was a stigma that this is just going to be a like you said, like a car show. We're just going to show off cool stuff, but really it's more. It's so much more than that. With the small business stuff, the spousal side. I mean, it's really so. It's so cool.
Yeah. And I am absolutely grateful for the opportunity that's been given to me in this current job at Headquarters Marine Corps, being able to plan Modern Day Marine and shepherd it along each year. I mean, the Marine Corps has the full control over the messaging on stage, and essentially, like, you get this wonderful platform built and handed to the Marine Corps, and they say, okay, Marine Corps Association, Marine Corps League, very graciously say, okay, Marine Corps, here's this thing. Now you go out, what story do you want to tell? And so we can set the theme. We've got all 4 stages that every single one of them, we're deliberately going through and saying, what are the biggest priorities that happen in the next year or two? What are the things that Congress, with their close proximity in the congressional breakfast, what do we want to tell Congress? What does Lance Corporal Manweiler need to hear? What does Captain Manweiler need to hear? And being able to say, to your point, Vic, about going out to Expeditionary Warfare School, the students already have to write papers. They already get awards for those. So adding an additional thought on there and telling the instructors, of your award winners, I want you to pick the student or the team of students that you think could then have to be rewarded with their excellence, and now they have to go on stage in front of a live audience and kind of defend the dissertation. Go present your paper in a very efficient, clean brief, and then you're going to take Q&A from an audience that ranges from Under Secretary of the Navy all the way, to industry leaders to spouses. That's a rare opportunity for anyone, and there's nothing like it in the Marine Corps.
So I've been starting to see for about the last 2 weeks on LinkedIn and in responses to emails that I've sent out, people are, putting out there, hey, I'm going to be at Modern Day Marine. Hit me up if you're going to be there. Come see me at Modern Day Marine. Let's connect. there's really a buzz that's building, and it's starting earlier than in past years. So how does that feel for the two of you to see that really that excitement hitting the streets earlier?
So good. Well, I had no idea what I was doing, like signing. I had no idea what I was signing up for because back in 22 when I came to the job. And what I remember of Modern Day Marine was what Vic was talking about, so when General Shorty said, "Hey, will you come to Marine Corps Association and plan Modern Day Marine?" I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I can set up a pull-up bar because do you remember like Marine South and Marine West? And so when I was a Marine in Lejeune, I remember going to Marine South and I won a Camelback because I could do like the most amount of push-ups or something. So I'm thinking like, is he bringing me on to do a field meet? And listen, no disrespect, Modern Day Marine's been great. And so no disrespect for it, back to when it was at Quantico. But we just have moving it to the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, for me, has made it has given us something really proud to offer. I'm really proud of being able to offer it to the Marine Corps. So like Nick, that makes me feel so happy that like the Marine Corps wants to be at Modern Day Marine. It's not something they have to be there. They're really taking advantage of it. So this buzz just makes it's like validation, like, okay, we're doing this, so I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's only so many Marines assigned to the National Capital Region from Fort Meade down to Quantico, and that tends to be like the preponderance of the in-person audience. But then when you go look at all of the online engagement, the podcast downloads, the visits to photo albums, and engagement with online with media coverage, that audience is massive. I mean, so part of my job each year for Modern Day Marine is that we exhaustively go through all of the resulting media coverage globally with a fine-tooth comb and kind of look at the trend analysis. What got covered in what proportion? Is that what we expected to see? If not, why not? Like, how do we fix that for the next year? What are the investment priorities and things? And we kind of shape it that way. And all told, I mean, Modern Day Marine ends up producing nearly 360 news articles, reaching an audience of almost 280 million people across a handful of countries.
That's amazing.
Big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's neat to see it. Nancy,
man, I need to watch my P's and Q's. I was sort of going from the cup. You guys need to be more prepared. Jeez.
No, you always do so great. But Nancy, to your question about seeing it on LinkedIn, you start to. Now, granted, it's my personal baby within the Marine Corps. Like, I probably spend 60% of my year involved with planning Modern Day Marine. So for me, like, I'm absolutely over the moon when I start getting hit up on LinkedIn from people saying, "Hey, I'm coming to the show. Like, looking forward to it. What should I see while I'm there?" That's not an open invitation for the entirety of LinkedIn to start hitting me up for, choose your own adventure at LinkedIn, or at Modern Day Marine. But yeah, I mean, the point is starting to see it in like January, February, and it just starts to gather steam, and it's a lot of fun. But I've got friends that reach out that are no longer in uniform that say, "I'm for sure coming to Modern Day Marine. Can't wait to see you. Can I get a couple minutes and let's grab coffee or something?" That's an amazing feeling. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a minute. No, because actually Scuttlebutt is going to be interviewing a Marine veteran, Brian Bush, about the reboot project. And it's a long story short, and I won't bother you with the details, but we connected via LinkedIn, and we have some mutual interests in serving veterans. And I said, "Hey," last year, I said, "Hey, come to Modern Day Marine and just see what it's about." He said it moved him in ways like he just really felt like he got reconnected to the community coming back. And he's a tracker, Vic, so he's yes.
Nice, Marta. Did he pay you to do that?
Yeah,
it just it comes out of the pores.
Yeah, but so this idea of homecoming is really special. And I'll tell you what I think is unique about Modern Day Marine Vice Sister Services is that esprit de corps. So it's what you're talking about. It's the fact that we have Chesty walking the floor. You know, Chesty's going to be there checking out all the exhibits. We have the Marine Band there. We have the President's Own there. We have our honors ceremony where we recognize excellence. It's uniquely our heritage, and I just get so excited talking about it. You can't see it out in podcast world, but like my smile is so huge. It's coming up.
Well, and also too, just also from the sort of philanthropic wing of the Marine Corps. I mean, Toys for Tots has a presence there. All of the various nonprofits and NGOs and the Marine Corps, again, where I think we separate ourselves as we understand that, there is a lot of value in soft power, and we are part of the community. I don't know. Sir, maybe you could talk to it better, but the thing that I've taken away as a veteran is, and the thing that I've always loved is how open-armed the Marine Corps has been in welcoming the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many opportunities, there's so many registration classes and things like that. But I do think the Marine Corps, in partnership, unquestionably, with Marine Corps Association and Marine Corps League, we're really looking at getting the most number of people through the door and keep Marines tied in with what their Marine Corps is doing, what it means for them, and what it means for all of us collectively. Not to go too high order on it, but yeah, I mean, what it means for all of us, for national security, to have the Marine Corps out there as part of the Department of the Navy, enabling the Joint Force, et cetera. I mean, it's all on full display, and we have deep conversations about it at the show. And yes, we get to walk around and do an indoor pistol range or look at drones flying around and get a chance to get on the sticks. There's just so many neat things to see, touch, learn, check out. I mean, it's just really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Nancy. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to put Marta and Lieutenant Colonel Manweiler on the spot a little bit. So I want you to imagine that you're going into Modern Day Marine this year and you're not going to be working the whole time, that you're there as a visitor. What would be some of your top things that you would want to see and participate in? What are like your what would be your must-dos if you weren't going to be pulled in 50 different directions running things?
Well, I think one of Lieutenant Colonel Manweiler's must-dos potentially could be the education and hiring fair.
Maybe.
I mean, wait, am I allowed to say that, or are you going to have to cut that out?
Yeah, there might hypothetically be a move to Fort Civ Div this summer. So yeah, I personally will be swinging by to check out some of those offerings. Yeah.
Looking out for resumes from Mick Nanweiler.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Hands down, like I would be a terrible Comstrat officer and planner of Modern Day Marine if I didn't say the most important thing to go to is the Commandant's keynote speech. So for sure that.
Sure, absolutely.
Well played.
SecNav's keynote. But really beyond that, I mean, there are so many neat things. It kind of depends. If you wanna get some experiential things going, I think being able to go around and try out a flight simulator or a vehicle driving simulator, and ask some of those folks questions about, hey, how many Pelican cases does it take to move this to my unit? Like, what are some use cases? There's all kinds of neat things that you can see. The attack drone team is going to be there and give a demonstration and kind of talk about what they're doing. If you're not up to speed on the Marine Corps attack drone team, anyone can look at news clips online and see that drone warfare is very much here. It's alive, and it's very, very serious, deadly serious. The Marine Corps is absolutely prioritizing integrating those into the formation, understanding our best TTPs and how that supports Marine Corps unique warfighting. So the attack drone team is kind of like take the old model, or it's still current, but the model of like the competition in arms program, We've got a Marine Corps level shooting team, and they do competitions at each of the bases. And, you know, you're going to use different weapon systems to prove how one mind any weapon, like a Marine is a lethal marksman, every Marine a rifleman. Same idea. Let's start to take drones and teach certain skills at across the Marine Corps level, and have competitions up to the point that, you know, you've got a Marine Corps level attack drone team competing against other militaries, the joint services. I mean, that's really like the level of cool stuff. So I personally am going to go by and see Colonel Cuomo and his Marines when they do the attack drone team demos. Last year, there was a lot of fun. I didn't get to do it until the final day, but there was an indoor marksmanship training thing. And, you know, they've got basically blanks. It's got the same noise level as a blank. It's got the same kind of recoil as a blank, but it's basically something kind of shooting like airsoft, but below.
It's a Simtech,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's below like the sim rounds. So really, really fascinating. You know, I'm kind of interested to see what those guys bring out this year.
You know what's cool? A new feature of the app this year is they have a map your mission, and you put in your interests, right? So you can put in your MOS, or you can put in areas of interest, and then it spits out, hey, you should check out these briefs, or you should check out these briefs, or go by this booth. If you're interested in spotting scopes, go check out this manufacturer. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
So we're really excited to give it a go. It's the first time we're using it, so we'd love feedback, but I think it's going to be neat. Help Marines. What Nick was, it's like matchmaking. It's like
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yep. It's like it's helping Marines helping Marines really kind of navigate the floor, because there's so much to do.
Right. I think a lot of Marines too, when they go there, we don't do a really good job of teaching how you have a conversation. What icebreakers do you use to have a conversation with somebody from one of the exhibitors, one of the industrial reps? So, you know, some Marines are going there like me thinking like, okay, I wonder if any of these people are hiring, like I should write this down. So you know, some people feel awkward about just walking up and very awkwardly saying, hey, are you guys hiring? Like, you can do that. That's a thing. It's just people to people talking. You know, but there are so many different things that can come out just by taking a bold, brave little step and saying, okay, let's just say hi to someone that I make eye contact with. Let me listen in or look at a video, and they're going to come ask me. It's not like in a store when someone says, oh, can I help you? And you immediately reflectively say, just browsing. Don't want to talk. Like,
no, I'm good.
You can still do that. But like, really just having a moment to say, you know, here's who I am, here's my MOS, here's some of the stuff I've done. Last year I you know, like a creeper, followed a couple Marines. I think they were maybe first lieutenants, and they were checking out a really cool hybrid model of the 7-ton. And it was like a demonstration platform that Oshkosh brought. And it had like all kinds of cool technology on it, power stations on board that it could, you know, do expedient field energy and stuff. And the Marines were saying that they were motor T. And I said, when these guys come over, tell them that you're logistics officers. And so they said like, oh, I'm a Lago, like we operate the 7-ton. This looks a little different. What can you tell me? And then there's like a 20-minute conversation that continues, and these guys are really just geeking out on it. And you just kind of have to have someone do that. You just have to have someone like recommend, hey, here's what to do to make the best use of your time at the show. I do think the AI tool, the map your MDM, is going to be fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, you know, the nerd in me, I can't not pay attention to the Commandant's Cup. That Objective 1 stuff. I cannot. The big thing I would suggest, though, if I could,
here we go.
Rather than a cup, is like a WWE belt that they should get, and then they get to wear that around for a year. Yeah, but no, the
get it authorized in camis. Like, could we get it authorized in camis? The Commandant's belt.
It's like the Fourragère. Yeah, you get the belt.
No, but I think you're right. I mean, where else? So I didn't really appreciate the wargaming competition until last year. And I mean, that's definitely something that I'm interested in this year, where you've got teams that have been training on the same, some of them are online, some of them are tabletop, but essentially, like, it's all about, can you orient on a problem, develop a tactical mindset for how you would solve that, apply a strategy, and then, compete against other players who are doing the same thing. And then there's a competition throughout the year, and it culminates here at Modern Day Marine. I don't know where else you have a former MEU commander facing off against, a sergeant of Marines, and having it be, in some cases about a MEU exercise, and the MEU commander's going, wow, this sergeant's really good. Like, I'm interested to see how this plays out. That's a cool opportunity. It's really neat.
Yeah, they've been going for almost a year. Like, I mean, they start up, not a year, but they've been going for months and months, and there's international teams. Yeah. It's mixed. I mean, it's really mixed. Sister services are involved, coalition partners, so pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, a little inside tip. We have a future article in Leatherneck coming out that is going to talk about following some of these teams as they prepare for Objective 1 or the Commandant's Cup, as they prepare for Modern Day Marines. So keep your eyes open for that. That'll be really cool.
Love a shameless plug. Well done.
Yeah. And
yeah, that was smooth, Nancy. I mean, I'm gonna have to take some tips from you.
It's all Leatherneck all the time.
Well, both of you, I really appreciate this. I mean, as you can tell, we're all very excited, and hopefully our listeners are getting, if they're not already pumped, correct yourself. But I guess at the end of the day, then, what are some of the things that people are gearing up? So we have the AI tool. We've highlighted some of the events and stuff. What are some of the things that you would like for the people that are showing up, but specifically Marines in uniform, to take away from not just MDM, like, holistically, but this year specifically?
Marta, you want to go first? All right, Marta says no, thank you.
Her microphone went dead all of a sudden.
Marta says no, thank you. All right, so if I were to speak to the average Marine across different rank groups and things like that, I want Marines to see several different things. Number one, it kind of starts at like the 100,000 foot level. We remain the only service that's ever passed a clean financial audit. That's really nerdy, but ultimately what it communicates to Congress, to the American public, is that, a dollar invested in the Marine Corps is a dollar well spent. And you're going to see that on display and in discussion at Modern Day Marine. So for the average taxpayer, like, that's key takeaway number one. Wow, look at what the Marine Corps does with the, by comparison, small amount of money that the Marine Corps gets, right? Number two, being able to see the degree to which we have advanced force design over the last 6 years. We just put out a new force design update last fall, and that really shows like how far we've come. And the capabilities that have been put into the fleet aren't just an Indo-Pacific thing. In some regards, force design capabilities are now routinely seen throughout all of the rest of the Marine Corps operating environment in other theaters. For various reasons, we can't go into a ton of details, but they're there if you go and look at media coverage and kind of look at what the Marine Corps put out. So I think it's fascinating to see just how the Marine Corps' continuum of learning, our campaign of learning, has continued to push and evolve and hone the Marine Corps steel that is beneficial for everyone across COCOMs, across parts of the Marine Corps. I think it's really neat. I think also that Marines understand that the Marine Corps cares about our quality of life, our quality of service. You'll hear about things like that on the Marine Zone stage. You'll see it in the hiring fair, the family piece, the spouse piece. All of that is, I don't want to say catered to, because it almost seems like that it feels like the wrong word, but I can't come up with it. There is something for everyone at the show on purpose. We deliberately look at it and say, yep, exactly. We deliberately look at it and say, hey, what about my spouse? What challenges does my spouse face? And here's the shameless plug for Behind the Camouflage. I mean, like those same characters from the show that have been interviewed. I hope that we're going to run into them at the show, and that's an opportunity to get positive feedback from internal, from inside the ranks. We get to hear from everyone that is a stakeholder in the Marine Corps about how our decisions are working out, what their challenges are, what's the next thing over the next hill that we need to be postured for and ready to take care of to, make sure our Marines have what they need to stay focused on the fight, to stay lethal. I think that there's just a lot that people can embrace and take away from it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't beat that. How could I beat that?
Well,
I mean, he is the professional communicator. I'm just a plant. I'm just a lowly
microphone on a sweet stand.
Part of that's nowhere near true.
Now, you know what I'd say? Vic? I'd say modern day Marine is a place where you can really see that one individual can make a difference and has a voice. I mean, it's that's kind of how, the second lieutenant, the first lieutenant, the platoon commander, the fire team leader, the, platoon sergeant, we never shy away from giving responsibility to those folks. We're smaller and we need to, but we found that when we did it, it worked out better. And I think you really see that, on display at Modern Day Marine. So you really do feel part of the community and part of the solution to the challenges we're facing.
Yeah.
Well, Marta, Lieutenant Colonel Manweiler, thank you so much for coming on and sort of helping us get a picture. Because again, I think there is still, Modern Day Marine is sort of this nebulous idea, and we just sort of lump it into military convention kind of discussions, and it is so much more. So thank you for shedding a light on what it is specifically when we say that it is so much more. So this has been really cool. I can't wait to be on the floor and to just really take it all in. Yes. Before
we let you guys go, tell our listeners where can they learn more information, where can they register, give us all the important information.
You get all of this and more by going to moderndaymarine.com, register, sign up. We want to see you there. And if you see one of us on the showroom floor, we're probably running around with our hair on fire, but God, it'd be great if someone just goes, hey, heard you or saw you on the podcast. We thanks for putting on a great show. Yeah, love it. Come out and see us. Come out and see your Marines.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. And sir, I'll see you in 10 days. And Marta, next meeting.
That'd be great.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's going on, William?
Not much, Vic. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing well. How things been going? You been doing any wargaming lately?
I wargame every day, Vic. I'm an addict.
I know that's kind of a rhetorical question. I already knew the answer to it, but yeah. So that's great. What are you diving into these days?
I'm doing a non-historical scenario based around the Maryland campaign during the American Civil War. I'm playing actually a mirror match. I'm doing both one game as North, one game as South against the same opponents. So we can compare and contrast each other's strategies.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So would you say that like your consumption deals mainly with like tabletop? Are you card? Are you digital?
Primarily digital. Actually, I'm a huge fan of War Game Design Studio and their variety of war games covering anywhere from, the ages of musket and pike, medieval era, to even contemporary up to modern day.
And they've got a pretty large catalog of stuff to choose from.
Pretty large. Actually, they do have some on the Global War on Terror. I haven't looked to see if I can find any of your units. If there's a Vic Rubel character out there.
Yeah, dude. If you had a Vic Rubel in Abu Hayat, the main thing you'd probably have to deal with is the time spent in the smoke pit, sleeping, and then cursing as I was falling down waddies would be your big dilemma.
I don't even need to buy the game to do that. I can just do that on a daily basis. Well, anyways, so yeah, definitely recommend War Game Design Studios. In fact, on the Marine Corps Association website, if you go to our professional development page, you see decision making games and exercises. We actually have a discount section.
Oh, yeah. Is there a code that comes with that?
Yeah, it's MCA 25, capital M, capital C, capital A, 25, just the numerics, and you can go and get 25% off of any order for any amount of games you want. So if you buy, all 100 plus games, it's 25% off.
Buy one, 25% off.
Precisely.
Awesome. And then, so if I went to War Game Design Studios and I put in that discount code of MCA25, I'm in.
You're in, buddy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and you or anyone listening to this could put that code in, and then maybe if you're unfortunate enough, you'll actually face me on the battlefield. And
that would be unfortunate, especially for me. But especially as we are looking at, we've had episodes where we've talked about on the show where we've talked about potential wars across the globe, and then limited training, and you never know when this stuff's going to go down. This is a great way to get your reps and sets in, right?
Exactly. You do this just to, on the side. It doesn't even need to take long to do a turn. It can be a tournament anywhere from 2 to 5, 10, 15, even up to 30 minutes. So really as much time as you really need to dedicate toward it. And it just could be a quick mental game for you to figure out how to solve a particular problem. Even if you're getting your butt handed to you, it's okay, shoot, I'm losing. How can I dig myself out of this hole is sometimes a question that many people might need to ask themselves.
And if you need to break from, you don't want to go cold turkey from your computer, but you feel like you need a break, this is a great way to get off of TikTok and social media and just focus and actually develop your brain rather than rotting it.
Exactly, precisely. So definitely go ahead on our website, check out the Marine Corps Association Professional Development page, get that code
MCA25,
and go ahead and get your reps and sets in on the wargaming.
All right, let's do it. Scuttlebutt is a production of the Marine Corps Association. You have heard the voices or contributions from Major Vic Rubel, USMC retired, Nancy Litchman, William Truding, and our guest. Ty Frazier is the editor, sound engineer, and technical producer. The Marine Corps Association is not an agency of the U.S. government. The opinions expressed in this episode are the personal views of the participants and do not reflect the official position of the United States Marine Corps, the Department of Defense, or the Marine Corps Association.